going to be about basic technology skills. Um, and this is the agenda for today. So we're going to be going over Blackboard and Portal review, basic commands and web navigation, Microsoft 365 overview, the post-university application on your phone, the laptop program, and of course, we'll open it up to questions and answers at the end. So quick overview here, Blackboard and Portal review. So when you are in your Blackboard, or actually your student portal, it'll look something like this here. And I'm sorry if the picture is a little blurry. I tried to blow it up as much as I could. But you can set up your home page how you want it to look like. So if you can see here, the number one step would be to hit on personalize. And then the second step would be to choose what you would like your interface to basically look like, or what information you would want your student portal to have, right? And then of course, once you check off exactly what you want, you can go ahead and save the changes. So again, if you want quick access to your registration, document center, your student email, things like that, your finances, you can definitely personalize that in your student portal. So continuing with the Blackboard and Portal review, the course information tab will help you find information on your instructor, course materials, things like that. And we'll kind of go over, how it looks on Blackboard, but this is a great screenshot here. You'll be able to see in the Blackboard interface, you'll see the class on the top left here, and then you'll see the units. If you click on course information, it'll basically give you information about the course syllabus, course materials, and the evaluation as well. So you can know, okay, how much percentage are my journals, or how much percentage are the final exams, right? So each of these classes will have those details. And again, I can go over how to find that once I go into the Blackboard interface for you. But this is just an overview here. And then actually the College Success Resources tab will direct you to the resources critical for your success. So again, on the same interface here, if you just scroll down to College Success Resources, you will see that there is the library information there. Information about academic writing, APA style, some videos, cool things that will definitely help you with the course. And again, for each class, it is different. So you just want to make sure that you know exactly where to go to find the information. So if you ever needed the library or needed some information on something, you can definitely click on the College Success Resources tab. So actually, before I go into the next slide, I'm going to go ahead and just open my Blackboard here. Can I just get a thumbs up if you guys can see the Blackboard page for English 107? I just want to make sure. Okay, perfect. Thank you so, so much. Okay, great. So this is just an example of a previous class. So for this example, the class is right up here, English 107. And of course, for your class, it would be different. But this is where you'll go to see the announcements. So it's already on that page, as you can see. So this section is where the professor will go to post anything that's new for the week, any upcoming assignments or information that is needed or needs to be shared. They will post it on the announcements page. So you will be able to see that here. Also for course information, as we were talking about before, once you click on that, Usually, it'll have information about the textbook as well. So you'll be able to click on that. It's usually the first link if you are wondering where to get your textbook information. It's always under course information. So that's something very important. And this is where you'll see the syllabus for the class as well. So for example, when I click on this, it'll show me exactly what this class is going to be about and the assignments, right? And how much percentage each thing is. Discussion boards and assignment forums are 15%. Journals are 15%. Writing activities 55. And again, for each class, this is different. So you want to make sure before you start every class, every term, that you go and you look at the syllabus so that you know what's going to happen. What are the units going to be about? Things like that. Okay, so that's the syllabus there. Again, if you scroll down, you'll have the library resources, Grammarly information right here. So if you wanted the Grammarly account, it's included. So you can certainly go ahead and sign up for that if you'd like. Discussion board criteria, course assignments and projects. Ask the instructor, which is amazing because you can click on that right there. It'll show you different um, responses here. So you would just want to create a thread if you wanted to go ahead and send the professor a message, and you'll put in the subject, question about Unit 2 discussion board. Right, and then you'll type in the question 1, question 2, whatever the case may be, and please and thank you at the end, and then you want to go ahead and just submit that right there on the bottom right so that the professor can see that. Okay, there's also the Ask the Instructor or Meet the Instructor tab here. Meet the Instructor gives you a good overview about the professor. It tells you what their email address is, what their work number is, office hours, things like that. A little information about the professor as well, which is cool. Sometimes professors do have their picture up there so you can see what they look like. So really, really cool to have that here as well. So again, when you're starting a new class, those are the most important things, right? Go to the announcements. Then you want to go to course information, look at all that, meet your instructor, find out when they're available, find out a little bit more about them, right? Or you can also go to Ask the Instructor as well, where you can create that thread. And of course, under each unit, that's when you would be able to see what the unit is about. When you scroll down, this is going to be the introduction, usually just for the week 1. Again, giving you information. There will be articles, websites, and videos for you to look at, things like that. So overall, great tool here. If you ever need any information about APA, information, there's a tab right underneath there, APA 7th edition. It gives you the title page information, APA guide right here, other important things regarding the fonts for APA style writing and all that stuff. So definitely everything is right here in Blackboard if you need help. So I just wanted to take a moment to show you guys that because I think it's super important to have that visual. Okay. So now let's go ahead and get back to the PowerPoint. So basic commands and web navigation, also super important. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an overview of the desktop. So we'll go over the taskbar, icons on the taskbar, and how to pin in the start menu and the search function, what that looks like. Web access and navigation. So we'll talk about web browsers, minimizing and enlarging files, and toggling between tabs in the browser, right? Because sometimes you'll probably have more than one tab open. You'll have one tab for the assignment, the rubric, and then you'll have another tab where you're actually writing your assignment, right? Or you might have another tab that kind of shows you whatever readings that you're supposed to be doing as well. So you may have multiple windows open. Um, we'll also talk about the shortcuts and copy and paste functions on the keyboard. So this is super, super cool. So um, you can, if you wanted to copy something and paste it into a Word document, you can use Control C at the same time. That will copy what you want, and then Control V at the same time to paste it on the Word document or in an email or whatever you need. So that's a good little shortcut there. And what to do if the mouse pad is not responding on the computer, which is super, super frustrating, right? So I always suggest students, if you're using a laptop, try to purchase a external mouse, which is, one of the options here. That way you can plug it right into the laptop, and it's actually going to be a little bit more accurate that way too. Or you can get a wireless mouse. And you can get it from Amazon, Walmart, Best Buy, pretty sure maybe Target might have it. I'm not sure, but definitely you should be able to find a mouse that is compatible with the laptop that you are using. Either way, it'll definitely be worth your while to get it, especially when it comes to copying and pasting something. It's way easier to do with an external mouse than to use with the mouse pad that's already on the laptop. Or you can press and hold the FN button and then press the F6 button. So that can also help, navigate if your mouse pad is not responding. Also, utilizing OneDrive and how to access the cloud. We will definitely go over that. So again, when we were talking about Control C and all that stuff, you'll see it here. Control right here, the C right there. So you want to click that at the same time. Same thing with the paste. You want to click Control here and then the V right there, and that'll paste what you just copied. So Microsoft Office overview. So Outlook is how you access your student email. It is important to check your student email frequently because this is where professors and advisors send important information. So when we're talking about, important details, important dates coming up, reviewing your next classes, if we need to connect with you about maybe possibly having an upcoming break, summer break or a winter break or something like that. We want to be able to connect with you. And so a lot of the times we send it to your Outlook, so your student email. And again, that's really the only way that you'll be able to connect with the instructor as well. You always want to use your student email address to connect with any instructor. And then, so Outlook is important for communication. You can create an email by pressing new email and putting your advisor or professor's emails into the to section. So I'm going to make this a little bigger because I know it's a little tiny. Just make that, might be too big. Wait a minute. Okay. So you will see here. So when you have your Outlook open, you want to click on new email at the top left, and then it's going to go ahead and open up this bar right here, or this box right here. It's going to pull up a to option, a CC option, and add a subject option. The to option is who you are sending the email to. Usually when you type in the first and last name of the professor, their email will come up. You just have to make sure that if you are emailing the instructor, that it says their first and last name at instructor.post.edu, right? We want to make sure that it's the correct email address, which again, you can locate in the Blackboard under Meet Your Instructor. The CC option. So here's the difference between CC and BCC. So BCC means blind copy. CC means like a courtesy copy. So BCC, when you blind copy somebody in an email, that is basically saying that you want this person to know that this email was sent, but you don't want the person that you're sending it to know that you're copying that person, right? Not really often used. We normally use this copy option, the CC. So that means you are courtesy copying somebody. So let's say you are sending an email to your instructor. You'll put that email first in the to section. And then you want to include your academic advisor so that your academic advisor is aware, oh, okay, you know, that student, they reached out to the instructor. This is what was said. We have a date of when it was sent and all that stuff. And then that way, when the professor replies back, we will both get the correspondence back. So that's really, really important to courtesy copy an advisor if you are trying to reach out to your professor, because that way we can follow up if anything. Oh, let me make this a little smaller now. Okay, now this is going to talk a little bit about Microsoft Word. So Microsoft is very, very important because many of your assignments will have to be typed in Word documents. So you can access the Word document by clicking on the icon that you see on the left of the screen and then clicking on where it says blank document, as you can see above. So again, when you're in this screen right here, you want to click on the Microsoft Word on the left-hand side, open up a new document, and that is what will pull up a brand new document. Okay. Alrighty. So once you open up the Microsoft Word document, you'll see a whole bunch of different options at the top of the screen. So when you are, working on something, the first thing that you want to do is save the document. Just in case something happens. If your computer shuts down or something like that, you want to be able to save as you go. So that way you don't lose the information. So you must make sure to save your documents so that you are able to upload them to Blackboard. You can do so by clicking File, as you can see above. So you want to click on that file right there. And then that's going to open up this box over here where it asks you, well, it says Home, New, Open, Info, Save As, Print, all that stuff. What's really important is you save as. So if you download a copy, that's fine too. That means you can kind of always get to it in your downloads and it'll be there. But I always like to save as. And the reason being, it kind of brings us to the next point here. When you click Save As, you're able to actually change the name of the document, right? So what you don't want to do is have 1,000 different document 7 copies, right? Because then when you go to upload it to Blackboard, how are you going to know which is the one that you actually just worked on, right? So if let's say you're working on Unit 4 assignment for, your English 107 class, right? You want to save the document as English 107 Unit 4 assignment, right? So that okay, it's for that class and it's for that unit, right? So that way you don't get confused. So that's why I always recommend you go File, Save As, and then change the name of the document so that you know exactly where what the name is and you can remember. And then the location of where you are saving the document is also very important. So whether you save it on the desktop, whether you save it under your document, wherever it is, just be mindful of where you save it so that you're able to upload it later on to Blackboard. So file management. So this is a little bit of what we kind of touched upon before. So why is file management important? It does keep your computer organized. It makes tracking your work a lot easier. And we're also going to be talking about archiving and what that means. We're going to be discussing the 3 Ds of file storage on your computer. So the 3 Ds are documents, desktop, and downloads, right? Very, very important to know. And determine what works for you, the locations and the file name, right? So again, you want to try to stay as organized as possible. If you're working on unit 1 for a particular class, make sure you put unit 1 and then the class, right? So that you don't get confused. So let's get into that a little bit. The common mistakes. How many of these have actually happened to you? And I hear this all the time. I can't find my paper. I can't find the revisions I made to my paper, and I posted the wrong assignment in the wrong class, right? And there's Homer Simpson right there. Dope. Um, but this is why file management is super, super important, right? If you have a folder for everything and you file it correctly, changing the name, changing the location, or making sure it's at the same location that you can remember, that's super important. That way you don't have to go through all of these common mistakes. Let me make this a little, okay. So you want to pick the folder you are going to store your files in. So whether it's in documents, the desktop, or downloads. So I can actually try to see, give me 1 second here. See if I can give you an example. So Microsoft Word, here we go, right? So this is a blank document. And let's say I'm going to start working on an assignment. First thing I do is I'm going to save it, okay? Before I start writing anything, I'm going to save it so I know where it is and I know what I'm calling it. So I'm going to go to File, and then you'll see here lots of different things here, right? So you want to go to, this is where you'll find your OneDrive and also the save as option right here. So when you save
Hey,
as,
Crystal. Hey,
yeah.
Crystal, this is Dina. I'm sorry to interrupt, but we're not seeing what you're showing. We're just still seeing the file management slide.
Oh,
Just so
okay.
you, I
Thank you
don't want
so.
you to move further and
Yeah,
continue. But yes, if you want to share what you're showing, we don't see that right now.
I gotcha. Thank you so much, Dina. I appreciate it. Um, you know what? I'll see if I can show that at the end. Thank you so much for bringing that to my attention. But I'll definitely show you guys at the end what I'm talking about here. But when you go to File and Save As, you want to make sure that you tell it where to go. Where do you want it to be saved under, right? You want to create a folder specifically for schoolwork that you can find easily. So again, if you want to do it by term 1, term 2, term 3, if you want to do it by class, you can do that too. So that way there's a file for everything and it's easily accessible. And you also want to have a backup plan. So consider storing your files in a cloud-based system. So, Google Drive, iCloud, things like that, because it'll always be there. And again, so that they are easily accessible if you do have to use any other device. So once you're logged in, if you're using a different computer, let's say, but if you're logged into the OneDrive, you'll be able to access the document anywhere, which is awesome. We do recommend try not to use a flash or a jump drive because they're easily lost. Right? They're so small sometimes, unless you have one of those things where you can like put it on a string and have it around your neck all the time, right? It's very, very easy to lose flash drives. So that's why we don't really recommend that. The best thing to do would be to save it under Google Drive or iCloud, so that way you can access it anywhere. So again, the difference between saving and saving as. So save versus save as. The save saves the file as the current name. So whether it's document 1, document 2, document 13, right? It's going to automatically just save it that way. Where if you do save as, you get to pick the file name. So again, very, very important that you save as so that you have more control over the file name. And have an easily identifiable system for labeling your file. So same thing that we were kind of discussing before. If you want to save your original, save a copy before editing your file. So if you want to say, no, you know what, I want to see what my original document was looking like, just save a copy so that you're able to make adjustments on the other document and still keep your original as it was. If you download a file to add to your courses, be sure to rename it so that it's easily recognized. As you can see, there is a pattern here, right? So saving as, choosing your name, all that stuff really, really does help. Save the files in the right folder. So if you have multiple folders on your desktop, again, you want to make sure that when you're getting ready to submit your work, that you are opening up the right file and saving your work under the right file. And be sure that you are choosing the right file when you drag and drop or upload files to Blackboard. So again, everything kind of makes sense here, right? You want to save your file. You want to be able to make sure that you remember where it is so that you can upload it to Blackboard without any issues. Can't tell you how many times students go ahead and they submit the wrong assignment because maybe they forgot to change the file name. And so they submitted something that was supposed to be submitted for week 2 for week 5 instead, right? And so if that does happen, you know, you can definitely just reach out to the instructor and say, hey, professor, so sorry, I uploaded the wrong assignment for this week's unit. Can I please resend it, right? So just let them know. But when we're talking about file, this is how your desktop could possibly look like. So you want to have a post-university file right here so that you know this is everything that you need for post-university. All my documents, all my files, all of that fun stuff. So again, under file management, this is another example of how you can organize the post-university folder. So again, from here, the post-university folder, once you open it up, you can allocate the folders here. You can have multiple folders in that one folder, if that makes sense. So again, if you want to do it by class and year, that's fine. If you want to do it by term and year, that's fine. So that way you can keep organized with everything. That's just a little example there. So then with this, if you go into, let's say term 5 folder, right? So back here, we're looking at the term 5 folder, right? You click on that, and this could be how it looks like, but you see how you have it here. You have week 1 through 6. And then that way you'll know, okay, that was the assignment for week 1. That was the assignment for week 4. And this person really did a great job with organizing that. They have the class and the section so that they know, okay, this is the class, this is a section, this is what I'm doing, this is going to be a discussion board, these are going to be the assignments, right? So again, very, very important to definitely organize the files as you go. Once you start it, it'll be really easy for you, like, you know, more classes moving forward, you'll be able to be better at organizing. So the first step is always the hardest, right? But if you try your best to work slowly and also really be cognizant of the type of files that you're saving, the name of the files, and just, remember where everything is, it should be perfectly fine. Again, making it a lot easier when you're going to upload it. So now we're going to talk about archiving your files. So each term, be sure to add new folders for the new term, courses, etc. So you are not using the same folders again, which is basically what we discussed in the previous slide. Try to set up your folders for your future courses early if you can be, if you can, to be prepared ahead of time. So again, if you know that you're registered for, I don't know, English 110 for next term, you can create that folder. It'll be empty for now, but you at least have it there so that you know, okay, now every time I have something due for my English class when it starts, I'll have it set up already. If you are using your computer to save your files, consider backing it up to the cloud, which we were talking about, the iCloud, things like that. So again, you can access it from anywhere as long as you have your credentials, your username, password, all that stuff. If you are using a cloud or other external devices to save files, try to keep it similar to the files on your computer so that there isn't any confusion. So if you have a file on your laptop that is, I don't know, week 1, English 107, and then you also have a file in your iCloud account that says the same thing, but there's different things in there. You want to just differentiate. So maybe have the one that's on the laptop, rename it to, laptop unit 1 or something like that. And then for the other folder that's in your iCloud, you can name it iCloud unit 1 so that you know the difference when you're searching for it. And we don't recommend that you delete old files, especially papers, right? If you can avoid it, because you never know when they will come in handy. You'll never know when you have to refer back to it. So definitely try to keep as many of the documents and papers as you can. And so now we are jumping into the applications. So that we do have a post-university application. If you go to, I believe it's oh, I forgot what the I think it's like Google Play or something like that. You'll be able to download the post-university application. You'll be able to have like a virtual campus. Um, uh, Option on there too, where you can kind of see if you ever wondered what post university looked like. You can definitely download the application. It'll have that information there. This also gives you a lot of other information as well. You are able to actually submit discussion boards with the Blackboard application, actually. So if you're having issues with your laptop, there is a way to at least use your phone to submit Blackboard not assignments, but the discussion boards. But if you do download the application, which you can see, I don't know if the scan is going to work, but you can definitely make it a little bit bigger so you guys can see, but you can try scanning that on your phone and the application should come up for you. But get connected and involved by joining virtual events, live streaming games, downloading our mobile app. So again, you can look at the virtual campus, you can look at our social media accounts, and things like that. And it'll talk about a lot of important events that are coming up as well. So definitely a great way to kind of stay connected. When I was talking about the Blackboard account, so if you can also download Blackboard Learn. So this is a way where you can view your activities for the week. You can look at your courses, calendar, and you can also submit discussion boards through the Blackboard Learn app. So this is another great app to download. I would definitely recommend that for sure. Again, lots of important information on here. In the Blackboard app, you can also see there's lots of other things here. We have a water cooler option. So this is basically like a student lounge, right? So you're able to speak with other students who might have taken the same class that you're taking now or are currently taking the same class with a different professor. This is a great way to kind of speak with other students to get some insight, some feedback, some suggestions. So that'll be great to use for sure. You can see your introductions. You can see the discussion boards here, as we were talking about earlier. You can see your class information as well, your grades, any announcements, course content, all that stuff. So downloading the application is definitely a great thing to do for sure. I also wanted to go ahead and talk to you about a laptop program. So, depending on your financial aid, students who have completed their financial aid packaging may be eligible for a laptop. So, students could or should contact their advisor and financial aid advisor for any questions. So, again, we do have a laptop program. There are several different ways to cover the cost for the laptop. If you are interested in the laptop program, I would definitely suggest giving your advisor a call. And I'm sure Dina put in the information in the chat. But definitely give the advisement line a call. That way we can look into it and see if you qualify for the program. We'll send you some more information about the laptop and the program. So that way we're all on the same page. And if you want to move forward with it, you'll just let us know and then we'll submit the request. And then the laptop team will basically reach out to you to let you know about like the shipping information and all that stuff. So if you are in need of a laptop or your current laptop is giving you any issues, definitely reach out to us to get some more information about the laptop program. And thanks, Dina, for putting that advisement line on there. That is pretty much it. That wraps up the workshop. This is the evaluation form or the survey actually. And so if you'd like, we would love to hear your feedback to see how well we did, if it worked for you, if you learned something, if you didn't learn anything, if you have any suggestions for the future, we are here with open ears. So we would love to hear your opinion on everything. I'm going to keep this up for a little bit longer. Yeah, I see some people in the chat. They need a laptop. Totally understandable. Yes. As Dina stated, please contact the advisor or call. If your advisor is not available, really any advisor can assist you. If you say, hey, I'm interested in the laptop program, I want to get some more information, they'll be able to help. Thank you so much, Tyson. Really appreciate it. And now is basically just questions and answers. So I'm going to just go ahead and stop sharing my screen for a second here. Okay. Alrighty, perfect. But here I see a hand raised. So I'm going to go ahead and unmute your mic. Just give me 1 second there. Okay, I have allowed for your mic. So
okay.
Able to...
Can you
yes.
hear me?
Yes.
All right.
We can hear you.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So you know, in the hallway chat, because I was thinking about like a suggestion. Like I know that hallway, but you gotta type things, huh? And then others will respond to you. Is there a way that we can implement it like a real hallway? Like it's almost like, you know, live on feed like this, like a video, so where you can really interact with other students in like real time versus like just texting it and then waiting for someone to respond.
I see what you mean. So
In
yeah,
the
yes.
hallway chat.
Right, in the hallway chat. I totally understand what you're talking about. So there isn't really a way, and the reason why is because we could be on different time zones, right? So to have a
Mhm.
specific time where everybody could meet, that can be difficult, right? To have like that 101 kind of like workshop kind of setting like we're doing now, right? What you can do though is in the hallway chat, you can certainly ask if there's the students in your class, hey, do you want to create a study group? Right? Maybe we can meet every Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern time, or whatever time works for you guys. And then that way you guys can kind of communicate live, if you will. Um, And so that would be another option. I'm not sure, Dina, do you have any other options or suggestions about that? Because that's really the only other thing that I can think of. Okay, I think whoops, I think her mic is not working. My apologies. Okay. Oh, I nailed it. Good. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that was a good suggestion.
yeah, for sure, because you never know, right? Because the times that work for you may not work for another student,
Right.
things like that, right? So if you just kind of throw it out there and say, hey, is anybody interested in kind of, talking about this particular unit or assignment or anything like that, and you'll be surprised. A lot of people will be like, yeah, absolutely, and then figure out a time from there.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question, though.
Thank you. That was a good answer.
Yeah, awesome. We got this. Thank
Right.
you.
Thank you.
All right, amazing. That was a great question. Oh, the survey. Let's see if we can get that. Oh, I don't know what happened to my computer. Okay, let's see if we can get that survey. Here's the survey link right here. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you take away some good tips and tricks to help organize your files easier. Of course, just call the advisement line if you need some more direction or have any other specific questions for like walkthroughs or anything like that. We're certainly happy to help. Thank you very much for your time today. If you don't have any other questions or concerns, you are more than welcome to leave the session today. Thank you so much for your time, but I'm going to keep it open for a few extra minutes just in case somebody thinks of another great question. So I'll still be here. Yeah,
Can I go again?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't want to be that student that talks a lot. That's a lot of questions.
That's okay. Questions are good.
So I posted it in the chat, but I was talking about could you go over like the differences and the roles of PDF files versus docs files? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. So that's a great question. So let me see. So the main difference, I'm trying to see if I can open up a new document and show you guys. But the main difference is that a document is something that you can open up and edit right then and there, right? You can edit it, you can change it around, change the font, do what you need to, right? A PDF is a file that you cannot edit at all. So it's something that you cannot make changes about. Usually PDFs are like if you needed to just print something out, things like that, and so let me just 1 second. I'm gonna just show you really quickly here. If I can get this working. Let me see. Okay, let me see. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Oh, whoops, sorry. Okay, so this is a Word document, right?
Word document.
So, exactly. I can type in anything. Hello there, right? I can change the font, right? If you highlight this, you can change the font up here to whatever you want. Usually though, for like APA style and stuff like that, you want to try to keep it as Times New Roman and at least a size 12 font, right? If you're writing papers and things like that, right? So this is a document that you can do. Now, if I wanted to send this to somebody so that they cannot make any edits to it, then I would go File, And then you see on the side here, if you go to print, right? Go to print, where it asks you for the printer. What you want to do is, you see how it says here in the drop-down menu, Microsoft Print to PDF?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
So you'll click on that. So once you click on Microsoft Print to PDF, then you go print, and then it saves it. And then it basically does this. So it asks you where you want it to be saved to. So if I want to save it to my desktop, right? And I'll just put, PDF. So I'm changing the file name so I remember what it is, and I'm remembering that it's under my desktop, so I know exactly where I saved it, right? Then you go to save. It should pop up on your desktop. Now I have 2 screens, so it's probably on my other page. Yep, it's right here. Okay, so there it is. So this is the desktop right here, right? So now if I close this, I don't have to save that. Now I'm be like, oh yeah, that's the document. And then when I open it, so you see here, you see how I can't edit anything?
Oh, because that's under PDF, right?
Exactly. That's under PDF. Correct. So that really is like the main difference between a PDF and like a document.
Right.
Does that kind of answer
one's readable and one's, yes, you did.
Go ahead.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem at all. No problem. I'm glad to help. Yeah, it's definitely a little confusing, but I had to learn the hard way what that was. I was like, what the heck is a PDF? But it comes in handy again if you're trying to kind of protect your file and you don't want anybody messing around with it.
Well, I learned on that. I found out that, well, I already knew about it. I just wanted to hear somebody's professional opinion.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I learned on it when I was submitting an assignment, right? And then the professor told me, he was like, hey, you can't be sending it through PDF or something like that. He said you got to send it through Docs. And I was like, what? I didn't. I was like, what? I thought they were all the same, but I didn't understand the difference. See, but I eventually learned.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. And that's what it is. It's trial and error, right? We learn as we go, and every term you're going to learn something new, right? Or like a professor might have a different point of view about something, or might have a different method about something, and so you learn from different people, right?
Yeah.
That's definitely a great question.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, right.
Thank you so much. Yeah, absolutely. I'll be here for another few minutes, so just let me know if you have anything.
Wait,
else.
So BCC is like you're tagging someone in the stuff, but they're not going to even know. So they're just going to receive like the copy part of what you're sending. Is that what?
Exactly. That's exactly correct. So let's say you're sending an email to your professor, right? But you want your advisor to know that you sent the email, but you don't want the professor to know that your advisor's in the email. You get what I'm saying? I mean, that shouldn't be the case. Usually we want to be involved.
That's like being a little sneaky.
Exactly. That's why I never use it, because I'm like, no, if I'm going to copy somebody, they're going to know, and everybody's going to know. And sometimes I like to be a little courteous, right? And just let if I'm writing an email on behalf of a student, I send it to the professor, I copy the student so that the professor and the student can see, hey, this is what we're talking about, right? And I usually say to the professor, hey, I'm writing this email on behalf of so-and-so who is copied in this email, right? So that they're aware, they are copied, they see exactly what we're seeing, we're all on the same page, right? But like you said, if I wanted to be sneaky now and, not let the person know, then you would use blind copy, but definitely not recommended. If you're going to copy somebody, it's for a reason. It's because they should be involved in that conversation.
Right. I believe it.
Yeah, for sure.
Right on.
Yeah. Another great
I'm done. I'm
question.
done
No,
with
no, that's
questions.
all right. That's all right. That's all right. Thank you so much. Your input is certainly important to us, and just having a student's point of view, with these questions is super helpful. So we really appreciate it.
It is. I remember when I started, like they were asking questions, like I don't even know that. I was like, man, me too. I didn't know
Right.
nothing, and then I realized that the advisors and everybody cannot always be there because of the time differences. So
Exactly.
the way I learned is just to start going into your own app and just
Yes.
start, navigating through it. Like find out what and what,
Exactly.
and ask questions on the
Yeah.
things you don't understand really.
Exactly. Press buttons. See what it does.
Yep.
Right. See
Yep.
what that button does. Oh no, I didn't want that. Okay, let me remove that. Let me try. You got to click
Right.
around sometimes, and the website is a very great tool because you can find a lot of different resources on there. But yeah, click around. And we have a lot of other workshop videos and things like that. Too, that you can watch on your own time. I'll actually send that in the chat. But it's really cool. Just so you know, have
Yeah,
it there.
it
Um,
is. It just becomes a routine eventually,
oh,
everything. So
absolutely, absolutely. The more that you practice, the more that you do it, the better that you're gonna get, and you'll even feel confident enough to help somebody else. Right?
yep.
Each one, teach one. Okay, so
Yeah, I like that.
yeah, absolutely. And so you're here for each other at the end of the day. I mean, everybody's getting their own education for their own reasons, but you're a team at the end of the day. You're all taking the same class. You're probably all having the same type of questions or frustrations or things like that,
Yeah.
right? And so why not talk about it? And yeah, and ask for help and all that stuff. Super important. Super important. But I did post the YouTube page. And so, oh, thanks, Dina. But I posted the YouTube page on there, so you'll see all our archived workshops. So there's a lot of stuff on time management, building your calendar, APA formatting, a very important one with citations, references, things like that. There's videos about all of that in there. So definitely keep that handy for sure. That way you can refer to it whenever.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you guys just better prepare when the professor starts telling you to do videos.
Oh yeah, exactly.
It ain't
Exactly.
gonna
Be
just be
prepared.
assignment. Oh my God, it's gonna get to the point where you have to be in a camera and talking about you got to be confident in your
Yes.
communication. Oh
Yes.
my
And it's
goodness,
tough, right? It's so
it
tough.
is. I'm not
It
even a
really is.
camera person, man.
But look at
But they
you.
got
You're
me
you're
to.
here. Yeah, you're here. You're
It's because of Polk
smiling. You're asking
University
great
made me do it.
questions. Yes, right? No, but it's awesome. It does build confidence, right? Because it pushes you to really out of your comfort zone, right? And you would have never known that you were actually a really good speaker or presenter if you had never taken the communication class, right? And so it's a lot. And can you imagine when I took it when I was in college? It was in person. Okay, I had to stand up
Oh
there
my
in front of
God.
a group of
Oh
30
no.
students. My knees were shaking, buckling. I was tripping over my words, tripping over myself. It was crazy, but I got through it. And then after that thing, it became a lot easier. But I'm like, whoa, this is not too bad. At least doing it, because you're in the comfort of your wherever you're at, right? Whether it's your home,
Mhm.
work, whatever. And
Right.
it's just between you and the instructor, right? So that's really great. But yeah, no, you're so funny. You are so funny for sure. You're doing great, honestly.
All right. Thank you. You too.
Yeah, not a problem at all. But so great speaking with you, and thank you again, everybody, for joining us tonight. I'm going to go ahead and conclude the session today.